What's up, YouTube? My name is Amos Bro. This is episode 1 of the Inkigayo Weekly Recap, covering SBS's Inkigayo program, or, if you want the English term, the music trend, formerly called Popular Song, and it is the oldest of the programs, of the 3 programs we covered. This one started December 15th, 1991. Had a 2-year run originally on SBS under that banner, and ended on October 17th, 1993. Its current run is from February 1st, 1998 to the present day. So it is a 20-some-year-old program. Think about that. It is the oldest, and that means pretty much is, you might say, one of the best. It is also interesting when you see the separate. We're going to talk about that first before we actually talk about the program itself. We're also going to talk about some other technical things. If you ever watched, how do I explain this? When you watch some music programs now, and I don't think we really don't have that many chart programs here in the US that are weekly, if we have any. And if we did, they were all studio shows. But the stage, there wasn't any real stage, so you had people maybe standing around talking, doing interviews. You still have that, a little bit of that on this program, on these programs, but it's also treated like a chart program. So you'll have artists, and they do live performances, come on, and they'll go on the stage. Well, depending on the show you're watching, be it Music Bank, Inkigayo, M Countdown, Show Champion, Music Core, you get the idea. Depending on the show you watch, the stage setup is so different every time. And I think for the M Countdown, they go and take the stage different places, so they have a different configuration accordingly. Like last week's episode, the one before the one we covered this week, was in a building, so the stage setup was a little bit different. The other one was done, I want to say it was more like in a dome. And so they had literally the hosts come up through an elevator onto a platform, and then they walk down and out into the into their positions. That was interesting, and it was something that I can't remember seeing here in the United States. And I'm not, by the way, I'm not shaming the way we present music, but the thing I always am intrigued by is the presentation of the programs, the presentation of the artists, and everything. Consider this. There's 6 different chart programs in South Korea. And there's literally like one a day, I think I looked up. They take music to a level that I wish we did. They take it to the point where it is virtually on a daily basis, practically, daily and weekly basis, competitive. And they do, and in Japan it's the same thing, because they have the daily Oricon charts, and they have the weekly chart that comes out every Wednesday. But it's just so amazing to me, as somebody who's just getting into the scene, how serious and how unique every artist looks, how every stage looks, and even the presenters for the programs, how seriously they seem to take everything. Okay, I'll tell you this right now while I'm thinking of it. Your presenters for this program are Jackson Wang, Kim Yo-jung, and Hong Jong-hyun. If I mispronounced that, I do apologize. I do want to also bring something else up real quick while I'm thinking about it. Of the 3 programs, this one doesn't subtitle anything. Well, no, I can't say. They do have the lyrics on the screen, like the other 3 programs. But here's what I mean. If you ever watch M Countdown, or you watch any of the Music Bank episodes, they'll do this. They'll have the song title in Korean, and maybe the artist name, but they'll also flip it so that you can see it in English, so that anybody who doesn't speak Korean can actually, or can understand it, can read it. Can read the song title and the performer. They don't do that on Inkigayo, so you have to virtually know the song by ear, or had at least watched one of the other 2 programs and have notes to compare, so you'll know who's who. But yeah, I wanted to get that out of the way now. And let's get going, shall we? As far as this week's program. Okay, so when we started with the group Dick Punks, who had the song We Young. Now, if you've never heard this group, and that name sounds a little odd to you, imagine me when I heard them do their comeback on Mnet Countdown. Well, they were on Inky, and this song is actually really, really, really good. It throws you off because of the name, but when you hear it, you sit there and appreciate it. Trust me. I forget, it was either this week or last week they did their comeback on M Countdown, and I remember listening to the song and I went, huh? I was like, oh, okay, not bad. Because when you hear a name like that, it throws you off. But then when you actually go to when you actually listen to the song, you go, not bad. I can deal with it. But yeah, definitely check that one out. Up next was Vibrato by Stellar. Excuse me. Yeah. And this one was another really, really good one. It was actually, I'll tell you this right now. Of all the songs on there that I listened to, and unfortunately, I don't think my girls from Minx made the program. I'll have to double check my notes again. They were really, really good though, Stellar was. One thing I should also mention before I forget. In Korea, all of their music programs have a rating system. And actually so do music videos. All the music programs are rated 15 and up. Which also is interesting because they also have this rule. If a video is on Inky anyway, if a video gets rated higher than 15, like I think it's 18 or 19, they will bar the video. The rule's a bit controversial, but I think they are trying to keep the younger audience, and they don't want their videos and artists too sexualized, if you get what I'm saying. Which I am perfectly fine with. It's, by the way, why I can cut down cussing during my videos. But, yes, Vibrato was actually a very, very good song. Sway Again with Jo Jung-min with Sway. And I misspoke. Yes, Minx was on the program with Love Shake. And I literally wrote on here, do you expect me to complain? We're going to skip XOX. Here's an interesting one. Monsta X. Now, I gotta say this about it. When you hear the name of the group Monsta X, you probably think, you know, severe hip-hop. There is a hip-hop influence to the song. It is still, though, a very beautiful song, and it is definitely one you need to check out. If you don't, I'm cool with that. You may not be into the whole K-pop, K-rap thing. Cool. But maybe just give it a listen one time, and if you don't like it, cool. Totally down with that. Where are we going to go next? We had NC.A, and I believe the song was called Vanilla Shake. That was one of the few ones I couldn't find my notes for, because I don't think I heard it before. Mama Mo appeared. They actually had 3 songs. 2 on here. One was Cushion. The other was Yeah, which actually is probably my favorite of the one. They had another one they did, but that one I didn't quite catch the name of. But yeah, the song. Now that sounds like a weird name for a song. Yeah. And at first I didn't know how to take the song, but you know what? Go check it out, because the title is misleading. It's a really good song, really upbeat, really peppy, just the way you like your music, I'm sure. I do. I can say that with all honesty. Got 7. Took the number 5 spot on the charts this week with the song Just Right, which is Just Right with them. And Ring My Bell was performed by Girls' Day. And I have it in my notes, and I'm going to bring it up. There was a interview that they did. It was like an hour on Africa television. Well, and they were supposed to be promoting, I guess, the song Ring My Bell. Because of their behavior, they came back the next day and apologized, because I guess they were goofing off a little too much during the interview when they were supposed to be serious. In their defense, I will say, it's an hour-long interview. Unfortunately, I can't find the interview to show it to you. But it's an hour long. Like, if you expect people to be serious for the entirety of the interview, now, okay, I get it. You're there to promote a song. You can't be, cutting up all the time. But we have to cut them some slack, right? But yes, I get it. They're idols. And in a lot of people's minds, you have to keep this perfect angelic persona, and if you screw up, you better apologize within like 2 seconds. They did. All's well in the world. Okay. A-Pink with Remember. And I remember remember this. It was a very good song. It's probably one of my favorites from the show. Well, that and of course Love Shake. And then we have Bad by Infinite. Infinite, who, for those of us that forget, toppled the juggernaut that is Girls' Generation at the last M Countdown with that very song. And was I a little surprised? Yeah. The other song that was up for consideration was Party by Girls' Generation, which it turned out to be the winner. What was funny was I don't know if they were actually there this week. If they were, then I don't remember seeing them, and I watched the whole thing. It was the show's, by the way, in case anybody's curious, it's like an hour. The only show that goes an hour and a half of the three that we're covering is M Countdown, for anybody who's curious. But on the whole, very good show, as always. Like I mentioned, if you want to see a very unique way that stage setups and crowd setups are done, watch these three programs. I promise you, you will at the very least get an appreciation for the way they do the setups and the way set design and everything is done. It's a very interesting, it's a very unique and beautiful thing for me to see as somebody who does actually appreciate that stuff. The presenters do a very good job of introducing the artists and doing their job as MCs. I seriously wish we could have a chart show like that here in the US. But we don't have them anymore. And I seriously wish we would have, if we were going to ever have another weekly chart show, institute a rule like the Triple Crown. You win 3 times, you're removed from the charts until you come back with a new song. But that is the show for this week, and that is the K-pop weekend for this go-round. I will see you next Friday. We will be starting all over again with M Countdown. We end Sunday night, Monday morning with finding out what's on the music trend with Inkigayo. You all have a good weekend. A good week. I will see you on Friday, my friends. So, take care and keep listening to the music. Bye-bye.